AI tool has one similar issue that doesn't appear anywhere in your document. You have to reformat that giant wall of text with everything dumped into it that was created a few weeks ago. And if by connecting two free Google tools, LM and Gemini Gem. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 systems I built, and by the end, you'll have an AI assistant that knows your docs, sticks to your exact rules, and spits out stuff you can actually use right away without having to rewrite it. Gem is a custom version of GEM with permanent instructions that give it a persona and task constraints, and an output format, and it remembers all of that in every chat you have with Gemini. And when I go to this page, click Gems in the left sidebar, I only see some pre-made gems. Google made these, and they show up depending on what you usually talk about in Gemini and which ones are popular right now. I want to make my own, so I'll head to the My Gem function and press New Gem to fill out the 3 main fields, name and inscription. The name is just for your reference, so you can see at a glance what the gem does. And the instructions field is where the actual behavior gets defined below those fields. There's a tool drop-down that lets me link a specific tool to the gem, such as 3 images, research video, or create music. I'll keep the notifying tool active for now, so the gem has full flexibility. And below that, there's a knowledge section where you can upload files directly into the gem for reference, so the gem instructions actually work. That's what I call it. And it stands for Persona, Assignment, Context, and Template Gem, named Email Drafter. And step through each specific business communicator who values brevity. So tell Gem exactly who it's acting as for the assignment. I'll write as the direct client. Use this gem to write an email based on the current draw situation every time, keeping it under 150 words. You'll get a friendly mix of a clear tone and a step-by-step approach. But casual guardrails keep the output consistent. I'll write the subject line, greeting, body, intuition paragraph, max closing, and the next step. I will make sure every email is formatted identically by following up with the client who hasn't replied. Submitting a proposal in 5 days under Gem right away gets me an email with the exact tone. And structure, I outlined a clear next step at the end to write 10 more follow-ups over the next month, every single one. One will follow those same rules without me restating them regular. Gemini Chat starts losing your earlier instructions once the conversation gets back. A long time ago, the more you drift from what you originally said your instructions are, the more they get logged in permanently. Whether it's your chat or your conduct stays the same. Damn, there's still a gap. Gems follow instructions well, but when it comes to referencing documents accurately, dense ones with specific numbers or policies, they tend to drift loosely and fill in gaps with information that sounds right but isn't actually in the source because the LM doesn't. Do that bell leaves ground response in the document you upload, so the answer always points back to a real source, where LM manages the knowledge and keeps it accurate. The gem manages the behavior and keeps it consistent. So once you build something that works well, anyone on your team can use the exact same setup without configuring anything themselves. Turn this personal tool into a team-limited system using this video. Ready to paste. You can grab those bonus gem templates in the description below the research and writing section as full workflows, or just spend an hour reading through the articles, grabbing the useful stuff, sorting it all into notes, then opening a blank doc and starting from scratch. The research never made the writing any clearer. I always had to reread my own notes, figure out which stats came from where, and manually stitch it all together. The system completely eliminates that gap, featuring the LM Increase blog on AI workflows and the AI productivity tools report from 26. Then I'll switch the prompt box to deep research using the drop-down on the left side. And type simple, find more sources on AI productivity tools and how businesses are taking them on in 20 load. And remove them to keep things tidy. Now you have a full panel on the right where you can click record and create my own anything I want where it goes into. The final piece tools, you have no idea which stuff came from which, the original meaning that entirely carefully came from. So now I have a clean, verified research brief, which automatically gets saved to my Google Drive. So you can get it from anywhere in the Google ecosystem, created gem, and the Gemini called content instructions on the length formula for how we want this gem to make it reusable for everything I'm not. Putting any specific research into the knowledge section only holds my writing style, my tone, and my rules. My content structure icon displays checkboxes, Gmail search, and chat search. And web search everything in my Google ecosystem using the three bars at the top. And pick the content writer gem, something like the resume drive titled AI Productivity Trends 26, and write a 1,200 blog post based on the findings on how information will interact with them. Research and write the blog posts in my exam rules. This also tackles content by using the gem's ability to grab from Drive, which is yet another use case that cuts even more time. Especially if you run a service-based business and find yourself rewriting the same proposal structure every time a new client reaches out. How much time was spent on proposals last month? And it averaged around 50 minutes per lead via the old project workflow. And when it was finished, something that came from the previous one anyway sat there for about 15 minutes knowing I upload all the files that show how my business runs, case studies with the real results, and service descriptions that are summarized by client type, scope, and result, and my gem hegemony. Write it. And write the instructions now. When a new lead comes in, I click the Gemini icon in Google Docs to turn it on, then pick the proposal writer gem. It'll create a few sentences just like the docs in your drive, titled Business Knowledge Base to Draft a Week Design Proposal for a Mid-Size E-commerce Brand for $15,000 with a 1-week timeline. 8 weeks conversion rate and mobile experience pricing, and invest case study details, pre-organize reference, and drive to pull actual numbers from a pricing sheet and reference real projects I've completed. And because I can share this gem with my team using the share button on the gems panel, anyone at my company can bite on this. Generate proposals with that same reference doc and same rules, keeping me involved as all the new business comes in. Daily time spent on brand is consistent, no matter who on your team is sending. Yet if you run and end the e-commerce store or product you already know has the same handful of messages appearing in your inbox every single day. Every answer has to handle your policies exactly right, while sounding like a brand rep, telling a customer they can return it within some seller. 30 days, and another one says 14 days. Because they remembered wrong, that's the real issue. To make sure every response is grounded in your policies and written in your actual tone, no matter who on the team is sending it. LM Dalting. And make a notebook named Knowledge Base, then all upload the record documents return and refund policy, shipping policy, subscription, terms, and a brand voice guide that explains how I talk to customers. I'm using load scale. However many docs you've got, the studio panel should create a briefing doctrine doc and squeeze them into one of the Moon policies. The edge cases and brand voice rules let you create a custom report called the Compiler Response Guide, organized by question. Pick the right policy answer for the category and the fourth document for each. Now I've got two clean filtered files, policy briefing and response guide, ready against my real documents in my NotebookLM. I'll save both to my Google Drive, create a gem named For Assistant, and write the instructions right now to use it. I clicked the Google Docs Gemini icon, turned on Drive Search, and selected an assistant gem just like I did about 3 weeks ago. It still doesn't fit even though I've already taken off the tags. Can I still return it or swap it for a different size? Drive finds the right return policy for items with heavy. The 3-week window with the removed tags fits within the return period. Brand Voice Draft 2 includes 2 response versions and a full email. And a quick chat response. Now let's tackle a trickier one to check if it's pulling the doc straight for my subscriptions. I'd like a refund for that duplicate charge and to stop the billing terms associated with Drive identifying from happening again. A duplicate charge flagged as a billing error triggers a response that acknowledges the problem and confirms the refund process from the policy doc, and processes the cancellation request based on the subscription term in exactly the same way every time, no matter who on your procentrobe by help. The team is managing the message, and the applications go further than just answering questions by drafting promotional emails that align with your brand tone across. Use email, chat, or social media, or onboard a new support person in a day instead of weeks to the same knowledge base and the same response rules. Making a well-built gem work as a company-wide support system is impressive. Because N compressed 5 separate policy documents into 2 clean files the gem can actually reference accurately. If you'd like to dive deeper into LM and learn the settings and workflows that make those records even better, I put together a full video on that you can watch right here, plus the pack with every gem instruction. The Notebook LM prompt from this video is in the description below. You need to get it set up in about 20 minutes. Thanks for tuning in.